Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about the equipment items in Survival Game Kit V2. I'm just going to be taking you through the settings for those items in the item list. So equipment items are items that your character wears, like backpacks, helmets, chest armor, things like that. So we're going to jump into the item list in the blueprints items folder, then to item list. And in here, I'm going to search for helmet because that's a good, easy example to understand. Helmet, I'm going to be using the riot helmet, and I'm just going to be talking you through the equipment details here. So to start off, we have equipment slots. These are the slots that can that this item can be equipped to. So this is a helmet, so by default this is set to helmet. We can have multiple slots if we wanted to. We could set it to gloves if we really wanted to. Or any other number, but I'm just going to leave it as helmet. So that's our equipment slots. Next we've got our meshes. So I'll start with third person equipment meshes, but actually they're the same. All these three settings here are the same. I'll explain the differences in a moment, but if we open this up, you can see we've got skeletal meshes. This is where we set our skeletal meshes that we want to be used when we equip this item. But next we can actually also set static meshes. So in Survival Game Kit V2 you can use static meshes for clothing, but you have to remember that static meshes are static. They won't animate with the character. So using something like static mesh pants or jackets, they'll just stay in the same shape all of the time. Where static meshes can be useful for equipment is things like helmets or sunglasses, things like that don't need to change shape. You can use static meshes, and if we click to add a new static mesh, we can open this up and you see we've got a slot name. This is the socket that this static mesh will attach to on our character skeleton. So you just set that there, and then you can set your mesh in here. You can also have multiple meshes, so if I wanted to I could add another one, and I could have 2 static meshes or 3 or as many as I like, and it's the same with skeletal mesh. You can add additional ones as well, so you're not stuck with just one mesh. Next we've got our first person body equipped meshes and first person arms equipped meshes. These basically allow you to set specific meshes for the first person body and the first person arms. If you have those, or if you wanted to, you can do that. Next we have equipment quick slots. Basically this is the number of slots that quick slots that will be added to our character when they're wearing this clothing. So by default this is 0, but I could set this to any number I like. A quick side note, there's a max quick slot count that's set in the player inventory component. There's actually documentation on that that you can find, but there is a maximum number of quick slots. So if you set this to like 20, you're not going to have 20 quick slots, just so you're aware of that. Next we've got equipment armor. Basically this allows us to set a certain amount of armor for each damage type. Now damage types are set in the weapons holdable blueprints. I have, again, documentation is available for that. And you can check it out and find out about that. This basically allows you to set different armor values depending on the type of damage that the equipment's taking. So if I wanted it to, I could take 5 less damage when the attack is light, and then maybe I could add heavy, and I take only 2 less damage when it's a heavy attack. So that's how you would configure your armor settings here. Next we've got equipment durability reductions. This is pretty much the same as armor in that you set the damage type that you want, and then you set how much durability the equipment item loses when it's hit by that damage type. So for example, if we're hit by a light weapon, we'll take 10 durability damage to our equipment item. Of course that's if durability is enabled. I can show you the settings quickly for that as well after this. Next we've got hide in first person. If this is ticked on, the third person meshes will be hidden for the local player. So in multiplayer, if you enter first person, other players don't see your clothing disappear. It's only you. So that's if you want to hide this clothing in first person. For helmets, I tend to recommend you leave this on. but it's up to you. You can play about this setting as much as you like. Next, we've got hide character component tags. Now, this is really useful for people doing modular characters. Basically, this allows you to create a tag, say we call this legs. And then what we can do is in our master character, which I'll go to now, in here, we'll go to the viewport. We can select any component we like. My character is not modular, but if you had a modular character, you could select, say, the legs part of the character. And then in details, you can search for tags, and you can create a new tag, and you can set this to legs or legs. The tags do have to be identical for this to work. So I've set it to legs now, and basically what this means is whenever I equipped my riot helmet now, my well, I'm using the first person body, but my first person body will become hidden when I equip the helmet. I can do this with multiple tags as well, so I could have many different components that become hidden when I equipped a new item, and then when I take off my helmet, the component with the legs tag will be unhidden. So you can use this to basically hide your naked body or base body skeletal meshes when you replace them with, say, equipment meshes. So that's really helpful for modular characters. Next, I can quickly show you durability details. Basically, you can set whether or not the item uses durability, its maximum durability, whether or not we destroy the item when it hits 0, whether or not we can repair the item, repair actors. So these are basically actors that the player needs to be close to be able to complete the repair. And then repair cost is the items it costs to actually repair our equipment item. Then I just want to say, you may be making a new equipment item, so you may want to add storage to it, like a backpack. That would be done with the the container details here. I have a separate video where I go into a lot of depth about these settings called container items. So if you're trying to sort of do a backpack style equipment item, you should go check that out after you've watched this. But that's pretty much it for our equipment items. One thing you may want to set is the quick use action. You can see I've got it set to equipped clothing. Basically that means if the item's put on the quick slot and I hit the number for that quick slot, the action will be equipping the clothing, so you may or may not want to do that. That's up to you. But that's pretty much it for the equipment items. Hopefully this helps some people out, and if you have any comments, please leave a comment. Thank you for watching.